you come back and do it again, you know?
Like right now,
Like
how we're live, and I don't
like right
know
now, like right
how
now.
I'm
So
gonna say whatever it
so you're
is.
not sure what you're gonna say with like the magic is that you always you thought you were slick with that little finger thing there.
Yeah.
Um thing is
Deadpool leaks are coming out in CinemaCon. Last Ronin, R-rated, hitting the box office soon. And X-Men 97, Death of the Cajun, the Raging Cajun. We're talking about it all right here on the Into the Void podcast in the Paper Chase channel.
wait, don't do it, don't do it. Wait, so was that it, or that's the one,
That's
or
the
did you?
intro.
That's the intro
That's
right
it.
there.
We're live.
I
What's up, everybody out there in comic community?
Nice, man.
So
Nice.
we've got a welcome to the Paper Chase channel. This is the Into the Void podcast, episode 31, with my lovely co-host Reverend Wormwood. How you doing, bud?
Good, man. Good. No, I knew you were gonna do that. Damn it! But I was wondering if you were gonna like that was the one you were gonna use, or you're gonna do like maybe pause and do like another intro, kind of jump in, do
Nope.
it again, like a little reset. But that's it. You felt confident about that one. That was the one, huh?
That was the best one I had tonight.
Look at
That's
that,
all I
man.
got.
Just like I
So,
said, amazing.
yes.
It's an excellent.
If you're just tuning in, we're going to be covering a few big topics that literally just hit today or within the past 24 hours. The Last Ronin, Paramount Pictures is giving us an R-rated movie based off of the Last Ronin comic book. Kevin Feige apparently was cursing up a storm at the Deadpool panel at CinemaCon, and there's been some leaks as to what was shown there. Nothing too crazy from what I read. I didn't read everything, but we'll dive into that, read that article. And then X-Men 97 shocked the shit out of everybody, right? And we can talk about that episode there. So hit the like button if you like comic talk.
Do that, subscribe, all that stuff like that. Just enjoy it as we
Yes.
enjoy doing it, and we'll
Yes.
appreciate you. And you guys on the rewind, go ahead and follow us and like and all that stuff like that tomorrow. You guys are leisurely watching us in the hey.
Yeah.
All right.
So the Last Ronin, let me share a little screen action here.
What's up, Zim?
What is up? Welcome in. Welcome in.
Well, give us the breakdown here, because like I said, I'm walking into this brand new as well. What is the actual thing going on here?
Well, so news dropped today that Paramount Pictures is doing a Last Ronin R-rated movie. So the Last Ronin, and we'll dive into that in a second. Let me just pull up this article here. Let's see. Sorry. Share screen. All right, here we go. So Last Ronin is becoming a live-action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, and it will be rated R. So if you're not familiar with The Last Ronin came out in 2021, I believe, or 2020. It was actually one of the first comic issues other than Star Wars that I started reading. And it's only 5 issues. It's kind of like they're square bound books, you know, but it's very cool. I'm not going to spoil what it's about because there's a big kind of shocker at the end of the first issue. But the end of the first issue is what prompted me to actually buy the remaining of the 4 issues that came after it. But it takes place in the future, and 3 out of the 4 Ninja Turtles are dead. 1 remains. You don't know which one until the very last episode. And New York is pretty much in a state of disarray after the Foot Clan is taking over everything.
It looks like Akira. It looks like Akira. Like the city of Akira is like Akira takes place. It's all like destroyed and decimated and partly futuristic.
Yes. And then the leader of the Foot Clan is... Do we know? Do you know?
I read it. Yes. Go ahead and tell them, man. They're gonna see the movie anyway.
It's Shredder's grandson.
His grandson.
Who's his new costume is pretty wild, a little T-1000 inspired, but pretty cool. April O'Neil has a daughter, the daughter of Casey Jones, and her is in it, and she's a big player in it too. That's not really a spoiler. But yeah, so that's what The Last Ronin is about, and it's very brutal. It's very, very violent, and I'm happy that it's going to be R-rated. What do you think of that? Live action too.
I mean, let's do it right. I mean, so you're too young to maybe remember when the first Ninja Turtle movie came out. You know,
Oh, of course, I love it.
yeah.
I have
But
the
you were
poster
when
on
it
my
came
wall.
out, you know, like when it. So you're roughly what? You're at 40, 38,
38, yeah,
38. So let's see, that came out when? What year? 91.
probably.
So
Yeah,
you were probably like let's see, yeah, you were like 5 when it came out.
yeah. I was obsessed. I had two
So
things I was obsessed: Ghostbusters and Ninja Turtles were my jam.
were you able to go see? Your parents would have taken you to that movie that young, huh? 5 or 6. Why would they have? You know, like, it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
It was dark, man. It was dark. I think that everybody was kind of like, I think everybody was kind of like, oh wow, this is like a super dark, gritty movie. I think it was dark because the technology at the time was as such that, like, if it had been bright, you would have seen like the seams of the Ninja Turtles all over the place.
Yeah,
You know, I think everybody was really surprised because at the time the cartoon was out and it was really popular. Even at that time, it was made more popular by the fact the movie came out. But the movie came out and it was super dark, and people were like, "Whoa, these are not the Ninja Turtles I know."
yeah,
And I mean, they weren't the ones I knew either. I was expecting like the funny cowabunga people too. I mean, I was 11, so
yeah,
I wasn't like reading all the Eastman and Laird books at the time for sure.
yeah.
But I think that some people are probably happy that it leaned more toward the macabre and dark
Hmm.
than like the light and airy for sure. But I mean, so Ninja Turtles has always been, I guess, divided in that way. You
Hmm.
know, so this could be interesting. The technology would have finally caught up with the idea that you can tell this story in a cool way and have it look great. You know, so we'll see.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I love that they're realizing the audience. You know, the people that are going to want to see this is an older crowd. So they're realizing the comic book fans are in their 40s and they're going to want to see an R-rated tale. And honestly, it can't be told unless it's R-rated because it's just a lot of bad stuff. It's very gritty. It's very violent. It's you know, so it needs to be R-rated if they're going to do it. What's really cool too about the issue is Last Ronin is the first time Peter Laird and Kevin Eastman worked together since their very first run
What
of
happened there?
TMNT.
I never even
They
knew what
had-
happened to those guys.
They had a falling out, kind of you know, parted ways. Like if you ever like getting stuff signed by them, if you ever find a comic that is signed by Laird, I would argue that Eastman is like the name of the two. Eastman is kind
Yeah.
of like the marketable name. But that dude's signature is all over the place. If you ever find a comic signed by Peter Laird, I would argue that that's probably more sought after just because there's so few of them. But yeah, it's excuse me, I hear the baby crying. There's a great video by a YouTuber called Matt with 3 T's, and he does these really cool comic videos and like certain histories on either a certain artist or writer or something like that. And he goes into Eastman and Laird, and it's very cool. You should definitely check it out. And how they started drawing the books, that look of the old school TMNT. And if you look at The Last Ronin, how they look in that, what they do is they take turns drawing the turtles. So
Did they?
like, yeah. So basically, and it's how they were created. So basically, it was them two kind of like laying on the floor. Each of them had a drawing pad, and I think Eastman, you know, made a joke of a turtle, you know, with nunchucks or something like that, and then Laird took it and started adding different things to his outfit, and then they would literally take panels and they would just swap back and forth, and they would take turns. That way, it's just a complete marrying of their two styles. You know, so it's very cool, their artwork in that way, and that's how they drew everything. So after that first run, yeah, this is the first thing that they got back together and did, which is really cool.
It's weird. And but did they do the Last Ronin together?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say, I mean, like, it's one of those things that, like, all these bands that broke up in the '80s and '90s, they're like, "I hate you" and things like that. They realize that when the money comes, that you get back together. But there are some
Yeah.
things that people don't like reunite, and I really didn't realize that they'd done the Last Ronin together. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's so weird what the ego can do that you would just feel like I can never reconcile as a grown ass man, you know,
Yeah.
for the greater good of the dollar.
Yeah. And it's cool. They even like during the height of, you know, because they were not, obviously that's one of the greatest things about TMNT is that they were not expecting it to take off the way that it did. And the toys really escalated, and the cartoons and video games really escalated all that a lot. but they had built an entire office for them to continue doing TMNT stuff after that first initial volume. And they even had like an office space where they had a window where their desk would meet, and they literally cut a hole in the wall so that way they can pass papers back and forth and do the artwork. Like, it was just a really cool dynamic between the two of them that you kind of wonder where it would have gone if they wouldn't have split up,
Oh, it would have gone terrible. It would have gone. I mean, these things have to happen. These things have to happen. Like everything that's great has to be destroyed at some point.
Sure.
Because then you can't have a redemption story like potentially like this right here. Everything good inevitably has to end and be ruined by something else. That's cool that they're doing this. I think it's cool that the movie's going to happen. I could never be blamed for being a massive Turtles fan. I read the original run and really liked it. I always joke with people who are Turtle fans, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm a really big Ninja Turtle fan," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, what did you think about Shredder?"
In what?
Well, Shredder died in the very first issue of the very first book.
Of the volume 1.
Yeah, he was like a nothing, and then he was just made into this massive thing over and over for many years. So I think that Ninja Turtles, and we've mentioned it before, is a very like divided fan base. I mean, you could be a fan, but I mean, like, there's people who definitely like. Who have like the shirts that have like the Ninja Turtle like shells on them, like they're actually Ninja Turtles from the cartoons. And then you have people who have like brooding Raphael, like in black and white on their shirt. I think that I think it's a two-part thing. I think people who are like serious Ninja Turtle fans of the early comics aren't a big fan of the cartoon stuff. I don't know. I feel like I'd be divided if that was me. What do you think?
I love all of it except for the Michael Bay stuff. Everything
really?
I've ever seen that's Ninja Turtles, I like it. Yeah, I didn't like the Michael Bay stuff. The new one, the new Mutant Mayhem, the Seth Rogen movie is incredible.
I have not seen it.
Oh, it is so good, man. It makes it fresh. It still has a nostalgia feel, but it makes it more welcoming for somebody who's younger for sure. And the artwork in it is amazing. At first you're like, this is kind of like Spider-Verse type of art. But then once you really start looking more, it's different. It's very comic book inspired for sure. The artwork in it is amazing. But yeah, very, very cool. Definitely watch it if you have.
So Seth Rogen's one of those guys that's like, I mean, he's got his fingers in a lot of cool stuff, It's interesting that like I guess there's interviews with him, but it makes me, and maybe they're out there and I don't know it, but it's interesting that there's not like people who interviewed him about like comic book stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, he obviously has something to say. He's obviously done more. I mean, you got people like Kevin Smith who are also like perpetuating comic fandom and things like that. But I mean, he's not doing as much as Seth Rogen has done in such a small place, so it's interesting, I'd be interested if there's ever any interviews out there, people talking to him about this kind of stuff more. Cause he remember he did that was it the Green Hornet movie first?
He did.
And I mean,
he's
I
a
never
comic book fan for sure.
I mean, Wachi's just like a ruthless, like capitalist. And he's just like, no, man, I'm just here to make money.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, no, I mean, it'd be interesting. You know what I'll do, Johnny, is I'll have my people contact these people. What do you think? Next week we can have them on?
Yeah, I think so. I think we can get Seth on for sure.
Just a little skidoo with him, kind of scat it out and see what's up,
Let's look at what's out there as far as some of these books go. So let's look at what's available in The Last Ronin.
Impossible. They're all like for sale for expensive money, man.
No,
it's weird.
No, they're not. And this is actually extremely overprinted for a modern day book. Yeah. The issue. So what's crazy is, I don't know if you remember when this came out.
I do.
The first issue. You remember what happened with the first issue?
So I just got back. When did it come? 2020. Yeah, I just got back into comic books.
2020, 21. Yeah.
Yeah, I just got back. It was a big deal, but it was a square-bound book, so I didn't think much of it.
But like, there was a shipping mishap or a distribution mishap with this. So they actually, because it was Eastman and Laird's first go round of wanting, of getting this out there, they actually, what was the print count? Let me see. Hold on, I'll tell you. I think it was 130,000 maybe.
Wow, that's a lot.
It is. That is a whole lot. Let's see. Hold on.
So it was 5, but it looks like they had just like a bajillion covers. Is that what we're doing here?
Yeah, there's a shit ton of covers. Shit ton of covers. There's a but it looks like in the first print there's 130,000. Then they did a second print. The second print is the one that I got because of the shipment thing. And then after that, I think that first round came through after the second print, and then there was a bunch of like first print issues on the shelves. But so you got a 1 in 10 here.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's Eastman and Laird right there doing that artwork. But like what's cool is you can tell. There's like, honestly, they're like of course they're good artists, but they're not like there's a grittiness to it. There's like a lot of disproportions, and I guess that comes with their style of passing it back and forth.
I felt that when I read The Crow, and you let me borrow The Crow, I felt like he was heavily influenced by some of that feel. I kept like, not like the art stuff where he was painting it looks like, but a lot of the Crow art, I felt like it was kind of like in that vein, or just the writing of it was kind of like in that weird, gritty, dark, let's show slow blood kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah. Well, they're very
feel that way.
Yeah. There's a lot of similarities, with both of those, both independent, both mid 80s. I can see that. So this is a 1 in 25 variant right here.
What are the cover A's? You know, because we were talking last week, the cover A's for the honor.
It is.
I want to know the honor.
Why.
You got my 1 in 25s and 1 in 10s here. I want to see what the actual, like,
this
if
is the
I was
cover.
at the store.
That's the cover A. I don't know why it's not popping up on Key Collector.
But is that cover A number 1?
This is number 1, yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. So why is that, like, is Ronin, like, marked out as a moon right there? I can't see, or I can't see the word. Okay. I know there's something weird happening there, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's cover A. They had some cool variants. I picked up on issue 2. This one was cool. I think this is a 1 in 10 on issue 2. This one's pretty neat.
Mm-hmm. Is that lenticular or something?
No.
Oh man, you would have had me, man. I've been on the computer looking like tapping away. Give me some lenticular action.
Let's see, issue 3. I think that's the first print. But there's some cool ones. There's a ton of prints, tons of variants. Let's see. But the best one, I'll tell you the best one.
Well, what's the most expensive one then? That's what I want to know. What if everybody's like, oh god,
the best one, the most expensive one. I'll show you.
I saw 110 just pass by.
Here it is. This thing.
1K. Holy shit!
Look at, dude. There's a statue of this.
Is that a Boss Logic cover? Who does that cover?
No, who did this? It's a metal. It is a metal limit. Oh, it is only 101 copies. Wow. Let's see. Publisher, artist, Aaron Bartling.
Okay. Well.
Crazy, man.
But does it give it away? Is it a spoiler cover?
No.
Hit it? Mm-mm. Wow. Okay. Nice.
Yeah, and then there's the it's pretty crazy. What else is out there? That one's kind of cool.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
this one's funny. This one's funny.
Is that the Scotty Young version?
No, this is
Who drew that?
This is the same artist that makes that game Exploding Kittens.
I don't know what that is, but I know, but I like it already.
Exploding Kittens it's hilarious. We got a Momoko one.
What, really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well. All right.
Here we go. Here's a cheaper one. Same artist.
Merely $450.
Store exclusive, limited to 300 copies. Dude, it's so gorgeous, man. That's such a cool book.
That is cool, man. But I gotta be honest with you, I wouldn't spend $450 on it. I wouldn't spend $1,000 on it.
This one's cool. I like
That's
that
cool
already.
too.
That evokes a little bit of the old school look, a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh look, Usagi Yojimbo homage. That's cool.
I guess Usagi Yojimbo just came out with a new book. I'm kind of hearing about it. Is that the one that you had? What is it? The homage to? You just showed me the other day. The Usagi Yojimbo. There's some sort of a horror book homage or something like that. The Usagi Yojimbo one that just came out or something. Didn't you just buy one? There's one you were like, oh, it's a really cool cover, blah blah blah. And I was like, oh, it is cool. And I didn't know what it was like referencing. I forgot what it was. It was just last week.
No, that was the that was you're talking about the
I don't know. Maybe I am.
Spider-Man?
Let's see.
You talking about this?
No, that's the one with the no, not that one. You were talking.
No?
Were you? Am I dumb? You were talking about Usagi
This is
Yojimbo
the only
last
thing
week,
I
weren't
bought
you?
recently. No.
No Usagi Yojimbo.
Nope.
I remember 1 year for Christmas, I got my kid, like when they were like younger. It was probably like 8 or 9 years ago. I got the big compendium because every year I get them compendiums and they would read them and they'd like them. I got the Usagi Yojimbo and they're like, nah, it's okay. And I'm like, what? Come on. Like, look, it's a samurai rabbit. I mean, you just got done reading Invincible. Let's roll. What's going on here, you know?
Yeah.
But no. And it just sat there and then no one wanted to read it. It was the weirdest thing.
Let's see what the market's doing with this book, huh?
I want to know. I really want to know, like, what is the most expensive Ninja Turtle book out there? Hands down, I want to know.
The most expensive one?
Yeah.
So the most expensive one is owned by. Let's see if I can find him.
It's Todd McFarlane.
No, it's Dinesh.
Wow.
Hold on.
Just call him that. He's on a first name basis. Dinesh.
This is wild. This is pretty much a one of one. And this guy's got probably the greatest comic collection in the world. He was one of the creators. Correct me if I'm wrong. He was one of the creators of Valiant Comics.
Really? With Jim Shooter or whatever?
Yes. And then he's the creator of Bad Idea Comics. And this guy just knows comic books. Like, he just knows them, and he understands like the value, and he understands the scarcity. He was buying original art for a while. He owns the original art with this other guy of Ultimate Fallout 4. Pretty wild. But he has what I would say is the most. He's got the ASM
print.
Y'all seen this? Can you see this?
No, is that his house? His house he has.
I don't know if that's his house or not. I love this cover. This is a great cover here. Save now. But he's got the ASM. Why is this? Oh, because it's a video. Basically, he's got the ASM original art. And he's got what I would say is the most expensive Turtles book ever. Let me see. He's got to have it on here.
I mean, he's living his best life out there.
Post. Yeah, he is. He's got the best comic life that there is to live for sure.
So the most expensive book.
I would go as far as to say that this is priceless, because it's a one of one. So basically, he's got the proof, the artist proof of TMNT #1. It's so early in the thing, like the cover's like stapled on, like it's not even from a manufacturer. Like Eastman and Laird literally assembled this thing in their office and sent it out, to the publishers to make a more professional copy of it.
I wanted to ask you, because I know that you buy art every now and then. I was thinking about it, like every now and then I'm kind of like, oh, this is a really cool panel on this book.
Yeah.
Or like that'd be cool to have that real art. If I could find the original art for this, and somebody like,
oh, absolutely.
Where do you go to find original art? I'm not talking like the obvious stuff. Like you have the 300 print right there. I mean, like what happens to all these books and art, the original art? Where does it go? Obviously, it's digital now when it's filed, but I mean, I'm talking back in the day when these things were drawn. That's what I want to know.
Well, most of it's owned by the artist or the publisher.
How do I how do I go back? Because there's a few books that I've read recently, and I know they're old. And I'm like, damn, man, it'd be really cool to like just own a panel of this page or something. How do I get this? I want to like go down that rabbit hole and figure it out.
I mean, yeah, there's ways. I was actually watching a podcast last night on Brian McClay's channel, and it was all on original art. And they had this guy was on there, Dinesh was on there, and another guy. And dude, they were just showing some amazing pieces, and they were going through on how you go about finding it. But one of the things is you can either contact the artist, or you can go on eBay. There is original art on eBay. That little con that I did, if you look at the video of that little comic gathering that I did a few weeks ago, or is it the last video I released?
Not the big one you're doing next week, right?
No. Not that one. There's a guy that puts that show on, has got an entire binder of Toxic Avenger original art.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, I remember you saying that.
And that
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
so cool, man. I was just like, that's just the greatest. That's so freaking cool. But anyway, so yeah, I can't.
This guy has it.
Yeah. Anyway, this guy has it. It's somewhere. It's somewhere on his page. But yeah, check that out. That's definitely the most expensive children's book.
Well, I think it's cool they're going to do a live action. Again, like I said, the technology has finally come back where you can do these things and it makes sense. I would be interested to know if they're going to make it like puppets, or it's going to be all CGI again. The puppets are always the best for me, when they do puppet stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah, that is cool, practical and pretty. It just there's always something whenever you, even if it's not the most believable. The fact that it's there in front of the camera has its own believability to it, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
Because at the end of the day, if a puppet showed up and whipped my ass, it was still really there. If it's a ninja coming over and, fighting, like it's still there rather than a CGI thing that you have to you kind of know in the back of your head, you're looking at something that probably wasn't there. It's like, it's just a natural thing that your mind's going through when you're watching it.
It makes you wonder if it's harder to act now than it was then. You know what I'm saying? Because back then you're actually looking at props and things like that. Now, I remember looking at listening to the Marvel movies, have somebody holding a baseball bat with Thanos' head on the top, and you're acting for that.
Yeah.
I mean, and I thought, and I was wrong, I guess, but I thought Liam Neeson at one point said he would never do another Star Wars movie or some sort of movie with CGI stuff at some point. I thought he was really adamant against that Star Wars movie. I was kind of interested in that. I don't know if I just made that up, but
I don't know. Yeah,
but
he might have said that. That maybe sounds familiar. Star Wars fans in the chat, if you know the answer to that, let us know.
You're a Star Wars fan, guy. That's why I was saying it.
Well, I don't know if
it must not be true then.
I must not be a Star Wars fan.
No. I just must be wrong.
No. I can actually see that. I can see him saying that. But anyway, but yeah, so that's it. So Last Ronin's coming. It's going to be great. I don't think they have a director yet. Let's see. Comic series written by Kevin Eastman, Peter Laird, and Tom Waltz. Let's see.
So they just have the idea it's going to be live action, written by Kevin Laird and Peter Eastman, or Peter Laird and Kevin Eastman. Yeah.
It's produced by Tyler Burton Smith, who has done that new movie Boy Kills World with Skarsgård.
Pennywise?
So that's interesting. Yeah.
So did Skarsgård just do this thing where he's I'm going to be the next action person in Hollywood, but he's really not that believable as an action person? Am I
weird, huh? Yeah, yeah, I don't know. I guess The Crow's gonna really say a lot. I'm not a fan of seeing him in all these action movies. I don't know why. It's
it's weird.
It is weird. He's he's a big dude. He's super tall, but it's almost just I don't know. He'd do better as a tall, lankier, creepier thing than a brooding, action star.
So
no.
There's certain genres, John, and you're a movie buff. So and if anybody's a movie buff out there, back me up or tell me I'm wrong, that's fine. But when you're an action hero or heroine or whatever it is, if male, female, it doesn't matter. But it's kind of there's a certain look you have to have,
Sure.
unless you're being unless you're making a parody of it or something like that. But I mean, so let's be honest, when you have Henry Cavill, hey, he can be an action hero.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? When you even recently, obviously Masala Ali, he could be an action hero.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Kind of going across the board. Simu Limu, what's his name? Simu Lee, the guy who did Shang-Chi. He can be an action hero.
Yeah.
And then a couple years ago, Zoe Saldana did an action movie which didn't do very good, but she's also believable. Mm-hmm. But just because Pennywise gets all super skinny and corded and you throw some tattoos on him, I don't know if that makes him an action hero.
Sure.
It feels like Scott Pilgrim grew up.
Yeah.
And that's what we're looking at a little bit,
Yeah. No, I agree 100%. Maybe too, it's involved. Maybe a lot of it honestly has to do with the face, I just, maybe some people's faces are just a little too
kid looking.
He's
not, again, I don't know him. He's probably a wonderful person. Please don't come to my house and beat me up, or try to, or bleed on me, or get ink on me. But it's It's the eyeball test again. Maybe just because I'm old. I mean, like
Mm-hmm.
they can't all be Schwarzenegger and Stallone. I get it. That's why you had Cage and Bruce Willis.
Yeah,
But, I mean,
like a greatest action star who's really not that jacked or even that big. Jason
Yeah.
Statham.
fair.
Dude,
Fair, I'll give you that.
that guy is just, you know what I'm saying? Like he's just exudes action,
Yeah.
blowing shit up,
Yeah.
not giving a fuck. Like he just exudes that. And
Yeah.
I guarantee he's not the tallest dude and he's not the most jacked up dude.
No, but Skarsgård just looks like he would be wearing a trench coat in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Like and so like the Crow, I was like, all right, cool. Look, I'm willing to give him that because he does take on like different roles. Obviously,
Right.
I feel somewhat bad for the guy if he's always just pigeonholed as Pennywise. I got it, because I know his acting chops are a little bit better than that. I mean, obviously he's probably a great actor.
Yeah,
That's why he's doing these roles.
Yeah.
But I'm just kind of like, so the Crow, okay, cool, man. Anybody you want you can put in that role right now for that. That's fine. He looks the part, but I think that even when you talk about the face, he's got a childish, asymmetrical face. It's like it's again, dude. Who the fuck am I, by the way? Like if my wife heard any of this, she'd be like, "Who the fuck you think you are talking like that?" Like I'm Fabio. But but I mean, like it's one of those things where it's like I almost see the guy to be more angular and like gritty looking.
Yeah.
But I feel like the Crow would kill somebody with a knife and then come fix my computer. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the feeling I get. Like his hands are soft. Covered with blood.
Yeah. No, I agree. I was talking to some friends this weekend too about it, and I think we're not the only people that feel that way. But hey, I mean, whatever. Okay, on to the next topic. Who's a great action star? Hugh Jackman. So there's been some leaks of Cinemacon is actually happening right now. It's probably wrapping up, but Disney closed up shop at CinemaCon, and Kevin Feige was there on the panel.
They closed up shop early, or they closed up shop early?
Like the end of the show. They were the showrunner, and basically here's the article that came out. Kevin Feige drops F-bombs introducing 9 minutes of Deadpool and Wolverine at CinemaCon. Let's.
Is that cool? Are we excited?
That's great. Yeah.
Feige was like, hey. Did he like walk out like fucking blasting beers? Check out this fucking movie like Steve Austin like slamming them.
Cold. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, so we happy he did this, or we're like, hey man, get a grip.
Of course we're happy. So let's read it. In years past, a Disney presentation at CinemaCon would be a rather family-friendly affair. That's the big thing on this. This is a Disney production. When every time he gets in front of it, this is a Disney movie. If he's talking about it, this is a Disney production. That's the crazy thing. But not so this year, with the raunchy R-rated Deadpool and Wolverine taking center stage to show off extensive footage from the project. The Disney presentation began with a silence your phone PSA with Deadpool, and also keep in mind, I don't think this is spoilers for the movie. This is kind of like they put this on just for CinemaCon. The Disney presentation began with a silence your phone PSA with Deadpool and Wolverine in costume talking about rumors for Secret Wars, the upcoming Avengers movie. But when Deadpool tried to explain his theories for the movie, he was interrupted by a cell phone in the audience. Finally, after being interrupted several times, Wolverine lost his temper and addressed the camera with plenty of F-bombs, imploring people to turn off their phones. That's hilarious.
Was this like a live thing, like a live panel, or is this like a recorded hijinks?
No. This was like they probably recorded it, and then they had somebody involved ring the phone at a certain time and timed it up right.
Oh, Disney.
But it's great. Like it's funny. So it goes on to say later audiences got a fully fledged look at the movie that stars Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman as the title characters and deals with the multiverse. I don't think they proofread this article. The footage was rife with double entendres aimed at Hollywood as well as direct references to Marvel and Disney. It's fucking awesome, Marvel Studios boss Kevin Feige said to the crowd. He added he could say it's fucking awesome because it's an R-rated film and proceeded to say the F word a few more times. Sean Levy then came out to show off 9 minutes of spoiler-free scenes. Wow.
Did it look cool? I mean, like, are we gonna ever see like Kevin Feige come out and going like, "What the fuck is up, y'all?" Fuck, or is it kind of like someone who's just trying to curse and be cool. You know, like
I'm sure it was cool. He's got that action look to him.
he's got the action look. All right, the
Yeah.
square jaw, the floppy hat.
Uh, okay, and now the rest of the article sounds like it's getting into. Okay, the rest of the article sounds like it's getting into actual spoilers for what was shown. So we won't really talk about that.
Yeah.
Because some people might not want to know that stuff. But the article, Hollywood Reporter released the article. If you want to go ahead and read it, it'll probably describe, what was shown in the trailer. 9 minutes of footage. Wow, that's a lot.
I heard, and I won't reveal my source because it's a secret source. But I heard that the Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman are a little bit perturbed at the constrictions that are put on them at Marvel for the movie a little bit. Like I heard that they didn't like all the restrictions they had to do as far as like hiring and firing of certain people and certain things going on in the movie. Can you confirm or deny, Johnny?
Neither. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
I mentioned.
I feel like I did hear that. Like they were like, yeah, they just wanted to make the movie that they wanted to make, and then there was the usual interference that I'm sure Disney is doing on everything, which is their mistake, right? And who knows? Maybe it was, maybe it was this movie where Disney started to take the foot off the throat of its creators, so to speak.
Do you think that Disney will ever get rid of Marvel?
Yeah, I think they could very well get rid of Marvel.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, isn't it weird to think that at some point Marvel could go back to just like not being like a Disney-fied thing, and it could be darker, and like the Dolph Lundgren Punisher could have its day again?
Yeah,
like that
absolutely.
Kind of, I wonder if it's kind of starting to heat up. Like, so Kevin Feige trying to act like the cool guy now, where he walks the room and he's like, "What the fuck is up, y'all? Y'all ready for some fucking Deadpool?"
Yeah,
just to like try undisneyfy what this actually is.
Yeah, I mean they've put so much into it. It would be kind of hard to like get rid of it, but they would probably, before anything, they would license out the usage of it to other companies, like the movie rights to it and stuff like that, or the animation rights to it, because they have entire parks now, and rides built around Marvel. So they're gonna, if they want to still try to use those things, they're gonna have to have some sort of ownership in it. But I can see them letting go of it, or start to dish it out, and for lack of a better term, whore it out to other people, because they're bleeding money, because they don't know how to handle the property anymore.
Isn't it funny that Disney is ruining Marvel and Star Wars? It's so weird. Like they just thought they had the Midas touch for everything, even like a turd. And here they are, like taking things that were doing just fine on their own. And look, honestly, they made them better for a while, but now it's like they just believe everything, and they're just like totally ruining them.
Well, the way I look at it was, and we'll know in 2 to 3 years from now. But the way I look at it is that it was a learning curve for them as a company, and for a lot of things, because at the same time that Marvel acquires Disney, the ability to stream has entered the game. And I think Disney, not just Disney, but Netflix as well, you don't know how to handle that type of freedom to produce such content so quickly, and you don't know really the repercussions. You think people just want content. So I think they just made the mistake of producing a lot of poor quality content. And so I think it's a learning curve, and I think there's a lot of bad media that's come out, not just Disney. Disney, of course, is at the forefront because they're the most popular. But I think there's a lot of, Netflix has got a dumpster land of movies and stuff that have been made that nobody's ever going to see. And it's going to be like, these are tons of straight to VHS type movies that with big actors in it, So straight to stream is going to be its own thing. But I think it's a learning curve. And I think I was talking again to
You're referring to Adam Sandler?
Adam Sandler. I feel like Adam Sandler's meant for Netflix. Like what he does, his low production stuff, he's got his set crew that probably doesn't cost him a lot of money. He's in the sweet spot of like, he's working the system. And I think Adam Sandler's probably actually doing really well.
He's like Netflix. The Hallmark movies of like dark, dirty comedy. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, oh, look, there's Adam. It's an Adam Sandler movie. He's going to do a dumb face. He's going to wear weird clothes, and he's going to tell someone to shut up.
Yeah.
And like, That's what you want. Like, there's Adam Sandler, there's Tyler Perry, there's Will Ferrell, and I want to say, because I want to say a female. I didn't say I have to, but like, what's a female actor like where you realize like, oh, when you see her movie, that's what it's going to be. Melissa McCarthy. There it is. Boom, done.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
you're gonna know. You're gonna know.
I think actually Adam just said he's doing another Happy Gilmore that's coming out.
Just stop. Stop. I don't know. When you're out of ideas, do it again. I guess. I don't know.
Oh, of course. Yeah, of course.
It's so weird. It's so weird. And then, you know, like I said, like I guess the DC things. Look, I'm kind of excited about the DC stuff. What was it? Didn't we just get something? Oh yeah. The Superman thing. I mean,
What?
are we the Superman S? You know, like the new
about it?
Superman S that just dropped 2 days ago or whatever, like that. The new Superman symbol.
That wasn't 2 days ago.
I'm just for me, man. Like I'm saying 2 days ago, right? I want to make
Like
you
a month
think.
ago.
I want to make you think that I'm like I got my finger on the pulse.
It's the Kingdom
Johnny, you're
Come,
wrong.
yes.
It was just what it is. I have seen it before, haven't I?
Yeah.
Okay, I read that book. Did it really come out a month ago? Man, I feel like an idiot.
Yeah. Yeah. Kingdom Come. Look, this is what I want you to do, Kevin. I want you when we get off the phone
This
here.
is like last week. You're like we listen to the same people, and then I'm kind of like I feel like an idiot.
When we get off the phone here,
Punching
go to
myself in the
go to
dick.
my Instagram.
Yeah.
Go to the people that I follow.
Are you petting my head right now?
No.
Come, child.
And follow and just go follow all those people.
Yeah.
You know, and then go to my YouTube subscribers who I'm subscribed to, and just go subscribe to all those people.
John, my head will explode. I don't know how you process all this stuff. You know, like
Yeah.
I'm making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in the morning, like hope just praying I don't fuck it up. You know, like and you got I don't know how you're like Johnny Five over there. Blah, 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 you know, like you just absorb this stuff, man. I don't know. I've got dancing like pixies in the corner of my brain going on, and you're like input, you know?
Input, yeah, there's a lot of input.
I thought that was brand new, man. God damn it. I was trying to impress you. Fuck.
But I tell you what is brand new. Kevin Feige, who posted a I don't know how to take this or not.
Is this
but
breaking news?
But
week?
yeah, this is like probably 3 or 4 hours ago. Feige, no, I'm sorry, not Feige. James Gunn posted a picture of a Superman Pez dispenser, and then he did it like 4 days ago, and then today he said, "Oh look, this Pez dispenser just joined the party," and it was a Batman one, and so. Is he trying to say somehow Batman's gonna be in the new Superman movie? I don't know. I hope not, because that movie, I've got all the faith in the world in James Gunn. I really, really do. But if you've seen the lineup for that Superman movie, it's stacked already. I don't know if I want to see Batman in that, unless maybe it's an after credit scene or something.
Is it going to be another origin movie though, or are we like just going for it? Do we know it's just he's Superman?
He's Superman. He's been Superman for a minute, and yeah, we're kind of just getting into the thick of it. I can't wait. I think it's gonna be great. I don't want to get off on that tangent too much, but I think it's gonna be.
You know, John, and you can help me out, and Internet Lane, you can help me out. So 2 days ago, I was watching a show, and I invoked the name of Spider-Man, the new guy, and I can't remember his name. And I'm not cheating, but it's been 2 days, and now I need to know his name. What is his name?
Tom Holland?
Thank you. Oh, see, just pixies in the corner dancing. Just that little weird repeat, like loading thing. It's been 2 years, and I couldn't remember 2 days, and I couldn't remember Tom Holland's name. But I didn't want to cheat. But fine, fucking here I am.
Yeah.
You know. All right, Pez dispenser.
So, transitioning into, so we're talking about Marvel, you know, are they dropping the ball? So here's proof. This article came out today, and we're about to dive into X-Men 97. If you haven't seen X-Men 97, we're about to go into spoiler territory. But this article came out, I think, yesterday, and this is proof of what we are always preaching about when we talk about how Disney's failing Marvel and Star Wars. This is X-Men 97 creator Bo DeMeo breaks silence after he was fired, pretty much. So he was fired, or they parted ways, and then his social media accounts were inactive, and then they popped up. So that kind of lets you believe that he deactivated his social media accounts, okay? But, you know, a lot of the talk, of course, to beat a dead horse, about all the Marvel and Star Wars stuff is they're putting too much politics in it. It's MCU. Nobody gives a shit about what their political opinions are. Write the freaking stories. Write good characters. People will like that if they do that.
Write a good story.
And if you do have a political outlook or a view or a subtext, don't put it in the forefront of the movie. Make it a nuance. Make it an allegory for whatever you're trying to do. So
don't make it a bat and hit you as many times as they possibly can in 30 minutes.
Don't bludgeon us over the head with it. And that's fine, because that's what the X-Men was created for anyway, right? For marginalized people in general, and that's their appeal. So here's proof that the most successful show right now, maybe in at least definitely in the last 3 years of Disney.
I lied to my wife last night. I lied to her to her face.
What?
Like, she sat down and she was watching the last 10 minutes. I made her watch the last 10 minutes twice.
Yeah.
And I said, I'll have you know that this is the most popular show that Disney has ever had. I just lied to her.
But you're not wrong.
Thank
you're
God.
not lying.
Well,
but this is proof that Disney's most popular show not necessarily has an agenda, but it has a very political inspiration. So let's check out this article. X-Men 97 creator Bo DeMeo has broken his silence, speaking publicly for the first time since his exit from the show. A lot of questions, and so I'll monetarily break silence to answer. He said, Episode 5 was the centerpiece of my pitch to Marvel in November of 2020. The idea being to have the X-Men mirror the journey that any of us who grew up on the original show have experienced since being kids in the 90s. The world was a seemingly safer place for us, where a character like Storm would comment on how skin-based racism was quaint in one man's worth. For the most part, to our young minds, the world was a simple place of right and wrong, where questions about identity and social justice had relatively clear-cut answers. However, DeMeo noted that this worldwide view shifted after September 11th, and things weren't so safe anymore, he explained. Grassroots populist movements began to rise around the world as a whole nation struggled to deal with collective trauma. But all right, so basically what he's saying here is that kind of things kind of shifted after 9/11, and that the acceptance of certain cultures and sexual stances and all that stuff, right, kind of took a shift after 9/11, and that's kind of what episode 5 of this show was supposed to be. It's a before and an after. The world changed after 9/11. The mutants, Genosha, the world changes after this episode here. And he completely goes on in this article to say how, you know, I believe he's homosexual or bisexual, and I think he's of all the
writer.
The writer and the creator, right? So a lot of this stuff is his views of being a minority as him growing up and identifying with the X-Men, and all of that stuff is inspiration for this show. Now, when we're watching the show, do we get that he was like? Do we feel that? No, like, it's well written. It's curated to the characters. I know, like Kevin, you always say you made the joke yesterday on Instagram. You're like, checks comics to see if it's accurate, and it's not. But
who cares?
But who cares? And it's derived from it. A lot of it's derived from it. Kevin, tell us, what is episode 5, right?
Oh, okay.
You're reading Modern X-Men right now.
Yeah.
What did they pull from in Modern X-Men?
They're modern. I mean, it's the Genosha thing. Well, they're combining a few different stories. They're cluster-fucking a few different stories together.
Yes.
You know, I really don't know why Roberto DaCosta's in this book at all right now. I like the fact that he is, because I like him, but no, they're all over the place, and I'm okay with it. I'm really okay with it.
But did you read Hell's Gala?
Yeah, Hellfire, yeah.
I mean, Hellfire's Gala isn't
nothing
that?
to do with it right now.
But I'm saying, isn't Krakoa? Wasn't Krakoa bombed during Hellfire's Gala?
Yes, but Genosha was actually a place that existed that got destroyed.
Right, but like you said, they're combining different things. What happened in the episode was like what happened in Hellfire's Gala and Krakoa in modern comics, and then they're combining the new X-Men with Cassandra Nova and the genocide on Genosha.
Yes.
So what they're doing is they're taking these two different mutant islands and these two different storylines from the early 2000s and one from currently. And
I see
they're
what
just,
you're getting at.
Yeah,
they're Sentinels. I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah, because the Sentinels are definitely hovering around Krakoa right now. So look, the straight up. I mean, like, again, sorry, Zim. I don't know if you can hear this, but as muted, you're the only one who I knew that wasn't caught up. But yesterday morning we talked, and what's up, John O? You and I talked yesterday morning, and you were like, "Listen, Kevin, I've seen this episode," and you put something on Instagram, and I immediately got off it because I knew you're going to spoil it, which is fine. It's your Instagram page, and I went looking.
Didn't spoil it.
Well, you had Gambit all over the place, and I was like, "Nah."
But
I know that.
what does that
I know
mean?
that, but I know that you got your finger on the pulse of things, so something happened. You know, I mean,
There's
I know
no
you well
pulse
enough.
there.
Hey, the name's Gambit. Remember the name? What? My wife goes.
Remember it.
My wife goes. Melissa goes. She goes. Who's gonna remember it? He just blew the thing up. I was like, hey, no, you're right. But you were like, listen, Kevin. He grabbed me by my shoulders, like Jack Nicholson did in Batman 1 when he's like, Bob, you are my number one. And you're like looking me in the eye, and you're like, we've watched it twice and partially a third time. Yeah. And that was an immense weight that you put on my mental shoulders, you know. And so last night I was like, okay, everything kind of calmed down a little bit, and I put the show on, and I watched it, and for 28 minutes I kept thinking to myself, like, John, what the fuck, man? Have you lost your touch? And I was like, and then the last 10 minutes happened, and I said, holy shit.
Yeah, dude.
Holy
so good.
Shit.
So good. So yeah, so the first chat, what do y'all think? Please sound off in the chat. Like, I brought up the episode, and we can kind of like we're not going to fully play it with sound because I don't want to get demonetized, but we'll scrub through the episode and we can kind of just take it piece by piece. The first 5 minutes is whatever. So let's start off with
a few detractions.
Yeah, what you got?
A few detractions first. So
yes.
two things I cannot do a suspension of belief. I'm having a really hard time with Rogue's voice. I just am. She just sounds like an old lady. Yeah, this young woman who's flying around, and I know it's the original Rogue voice, but whenever I hear her, I just hear the old lady that she is in real life, but I can't unhear it.
Yeah,
it drives me nuts. And
yeah,
I also can't. And they went out of their way to try and explain it a little bit in this episode, but I hate the fact that like her and Magneto are like sleeping around. It just bothers me because I know in real life, like because I've read all the books, like their age difference is so big. Sure. I mean, it's so big. Like literally, like he was alive in World War II,
but you know who else
she was born in the 80s, essentially.
But you know who else's age difference is even bigger? Logan and everybody else.
I understand that, yes, but I'm giving space because he has like the healing factor. He doesn't. He ages a slower rate. That's like a vampire thing.
Yeah.
Magneto literally is like a silver fox. This yoked ass silver fox too, by the way. That's why Ian McKellen was a great Magneto because you believed it, you know, like. But I mean, he is literally like pawing at this 50-year-old younger woman. It just, I can't get over it. I'm sorry. Michael Jackson was a weirdo.
Yeah. Hold on one second. Are we still sharing this? We are. Okay, cool. So let's scrub through this here. So it starts off with the little interview here, and this was kind of smart in the way how they did this to kind of set this up. That way you can see the outsider perspective of Genosha.
Trish Tilby was a good character.
Easter egg. Yeah. Because her and Beast, right? Is that correct? Yep. Her and Beast are dating. Yeah. Okay. So they get to Genosha. This is so cool. This shot here cool. of the two statues, the two different ideologies. Very cool. Kind of after the same goal. It's a happy-go-lucky place. What did we see?
Sweet Tooth is there. It's nice.
Sweet Tooth.
I felt like an idiot because I didn't know half these people. Like I knew the little clear person who was a New Mutants. I can't remember them, but there he is.
Yeah, Three's Company.
That creep, that groomer right there.
The groomer. So Madeline Pryor's. I like that they didn't. I like that she's in the mix. I like that she's. It bothers
me a little bit.
Does it really?
It does. It does. Because like they took this awesome story arc and look at her. She's wearing glasses. What you can't see is like the sequin pants and like the Adidas shoes. You know, I mean, like she's fucking Madeline Pryor, dude. Like she's her badass, and here she is wearing like mom shades and like talking it over.
That doesn't mean she can't tap into that when she needs to. Like
I know, but I mean, like she's what is it? Like she was just freaking. She was Jean Grey last episode. Now she's completely, you know, somebody else, and she just doesn't care about her baby anymore, and she's completely healed. And
hold on, that's not true. That's not true. She doesn't care about her baby anymore.
I saw that little thing. I know you're getting at, but I mean, really, like who really? who really like recovers as quickly as she has.
Well, you
Now
know,
she's on part of the council of Genosha. She had a quick recovery, man.
well, hold on. First, like, I don't. The time passing in these episodes can be more than what you think or what they lead to believe. You know what I'm saying? Like, and also there's a level of it's also a cartoon, so it's like I don't know, like those things. I forgive some of those things. I forgive some of those things. So let's see. Oh yeah, Nightcrawler showed up. Right?
That was cool.
Yeah, he was very cool. I like his art. I like the art style of him. I like how he looks. I think he looks great.
John Byrne-esque darkening of the eyes and the yellows. Yes, that was good.
Yeah, man.
So here's how nerdy I was, and maybe you did the same thing. Maybe everybody out there on the internet did the same thing. But when he would teleport, I kept trying to hear Bamf.
Yeah.
I was like, was that a Bamf? I didn't quite do.
That's funny. So you got a bunch of the what do they call it? The Morlocks, the mutants that Magneto saved. This was funny. You know, him talking about the price. That's such a New Orleans thing. Can I say how accurate that is of Gambit being like, look at the price of that apple. He's really charging high rent. And then Rogue's like, oh no, leave it alone. He's like, I'm just willing to ask the questions nobody else will. That's like, I've met people like that. I know people that are like that from down here. You know what I'm saying? It's just such a like you know,
I felt like Gambit was like throwing this like just like this like I mean, I've done it before too, and like I know I'm the third wheel. Like back in the day when you just know you're the third wheel, but like you had a little something with the girl, and then the girl left you for the better guy, and you know it, but you're just trying to twist like every emotional titty you can. You're like,
it's never happened. It's never happened to me.
Wow. Okay. Wow. See, you are the guy then.
No.
Like that's what he's doing. He's like, you know, I'm willing to ask hard questions. Like, why are you with the guy who's 70 years your senior?
Yeah. And so you got Scott Summers, who's really being a jerk here. This is kind of funny to see him kind of go off the rails.
Would you say it was kind of a recovery for being such a fucking weirdo last episode, where he's like, "All right, cool. I'm just gonna trade up to the less used model of my wife." He's like, but he's always falling apart in front of Trish Tilby. I don't know. It was, and then I didn't like this either. Like,
you know what I love about the water?
What's that?
I'm pretty sure the water in here looks just like the water of the cover of X-Men 101.
I thought so too.
Because she's talking about the watch. Look this. Look. Hold on. Let me get it up.
So Wolverine's voice is the same voice, but I don't have a problem because in the old show he was trying to talk like that anyway. You know.
Yeah, but this is like, I don't know. I see this as like a good attention to detail, man. For the comics,
like Rogue should be offering candy to people. You know?
So check out. So she's here in the water, and she makes a comment about how it's the origin of the Phoenix and where she emerged, and you know, ultimately that kind of led to her and Scott because of how she was able to offset his powers with her new powers, and it kind of brought their relationship. But like, look at 101. Look at that water. Mm-hmm. And it's just a cool attention to. It's just a cool attention to comic detail. Like, you know, they looked at these issues and was like, this is where it's coming from. So I thought that was cool.
I liked the allegory to the water because, like I said, obviously that's where she came from. You know, and as close as we got to the water in the movies is when she killed Cyclops. You know, like, but the water is cool. But it would have been hokey if they had her like coming out of like the rock or whatever like that. But I mean, like I like the fact that she was there, and it's almost like she's got some of that little Phoenix in her still too. Because like I felt like when she kissed Logan, it was a little bit too like it wasn't like her.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah. It was and the level of writing on this show right now, especially shown through this episode, is insane. Because to take a title like Remember It and have the multiple intersecting storylines all be about memory, because that's what's going on here. That's the struggle that she's having, her identity with, you know, are you your memories, or are you you know, you're just your physical form or whatever. Like, that's really cool to have them all on the same wavelength. So just excellent writing.
And I can't relate at all because that's never happened to me, man. So I'm just going to take her word for it. I've never had a clone before. Like, I don't know. I like she's uncharted territory, but
yeah.
So and then she like lecherously turns around and kisses Wolverine while Scott's shit in front of Trish. And he turns around like, oh, he's been rah.
Yeah, and I'm happy he did that. I'm happy he did that too, because I was getting a little annoyed. I love Logan, right? Who doesn't? But I was getting a little annoyed of him always like kind of butting into their relationship. It's like, dude, they're a thing. Like, they're a thing. He even says it in this. You guys are the power couple.
Yeah.
And he acknowledges it, so that's good. Because honestly, if you break down all of the characters and like how, for lack of a better term, cool they are in this show, how much they're appealing to me and how much I like them, Wolverine is way at the bottom of the list. Like, of the stuff that he's done, of the stuff that he's said, and where he's at in the storyline, dude, Cyclops is kicking ass. Like, everybody's story arc and journey right now is really cool. Wolverine's kind of like, dude, you're just a third wheel who's really not doing much other than driving Madeline to the hospital.
Yeah, I'm really digging Morph's story arc right now.
Yeah. Yeah, Morph.
Poor bastard.
Freaking Jubilee had a better story arc than Logan's
you know what?
So far.
Jubilee could have actually had a even better story arc if she had died instead. It would have been so good. If you want to make the perfect episode, have her die. That would be so good, dude. And the two X-Men I don't like from the 90s, she's one and fucking Gambit is the other. And when whatever happened at the end of this episode happened, I was like, first thing I thought was like, why couldn't it have been Jubilee?
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, I figured you would think that. So Emma shows up and Sebastian
the guy that takes the girl
show up. That was cool. Now
Emma Frost was like, you have very nice tight gloves, Meg,
Yeah.
I like your fashion.
So they go through the whole thing of Rogue wants him to assist in leading Genosha and all that stuff. This is all doesn't really matter anymore because of what happened. Now here's one thing. Oh, and after this we can watch the trailer because there's a trailer for the next 3 episodes that came out.
Oh, I didn't see that.
It literally just came out like 2 hours ago, I think. Crystal actually showed it to me. But no, we'll play it. We'll play it on the screen here. And let's see. All right, let's fast forward a bit here. Oh yeah, this was funny. So you think Emma Frost was inside of his mind as well, watching all this thing go down between him and Madeline Pryor?
I thought this wasn't explained as well as it should have. I just kind of was like, okay, that's what's happening. So like what we're trying to say is like that Scott and Madeline were having a psi-link,
Yeah.
And then here's Jean and she's like, you're mentally cheating on me.
Yeah.
And Scott really had a crisis of conscience because he's like, oh, I don't know. I married her. I had a kid with her. I've talked to her and had her perspective, but I'm going to ditch her for you. You're just a newer version.
Because she just kissed Logan.
Yeah, I understand that. But like, it's just like I said, like we talked about this the other episode ago. It's just like, dude, I just can't wrap my mind around the fact Scott's like, okay. I'll go with you because like, I don't know, 10 years ago, you and I were together, but I've been with this other lady for 10 years and I had a kid with her.
Sure.
And but now I'm going to be with you because she's not you.
Yeah.
And so
I think he's probably struggling with that.
This is the reason that why Cyclops has been hated for so long. Cyclops has been hated in Marvel because he's just a nammy-pammy dude who just couldn't get his shit straight. And we always just feel that way. He's got that Superman thing where we just like to hate on him.
Yeah.
And we're only happy when shit's making him cry or boo-hoo or he loses his cool. It's when we like him,
And in this scene right here, this is sad. Rogue breaking up with Gambit. Talks about that classic Jim Lee cover. What is that? X-Men 278? What's the cover? You guys know in the chat?
Dark Claw's the one who's going to know it.
X-Men. I'm going to try X-Men 278.
What are we looking for here? What was the
cover?
episode?
The cover of Rogue and Magneto when she's in the jungle outfit.
Oh God, dude!
I'm gonna say 278.
Well, it's hard because J. Scott Campbell has done it like 15,000 times more since then.
Yeah.
Lecherous people. I mean, look at him right there. He's just thirst trapping Rogue right there. I hate it. It's weird, dude. And it's just so weird, man.
I wonder if any of these books are moving because of this. The Rogue and Gambit book. I think it is actually. I think that was on like a.
I was watching somebody this morning, and I forgot who I was watching, but they were joking around about the first book of Jubilee after last week. You know.
Yeah.
And I just hated it. I hated it.
Look at
that.
This is great. Yeah, this is hilarious.
Tell me he's not grooming her, dude.
This is so funny.
He's like fucking painting her.
Yeah. So okay, now here's where the good shit happened. This is a great scene, right? So much foreshadowing in this scene between the conversations between them two of what they say. So, like every line is something like foreshadowing or has a deeper meaning to it. It really, really good writing. This is crazy.
She's like, I can't touch you. I'm a fucking horn dog and I need something.
Yeah.
And Gambit of all people is kind of like, I'll be here for you, baby. I'll be your friend, Shad.
Yeah, I mean, he's like, well,
Encore.
So now we go to the party. This is where shit pops off. This is so good. So from this point on, it escalates very quickly. First of all, let me say the song choice, Ace of Base, Happy Nation, was
I had no
wonderful.
idea that's what that was.
Dude, when I heard the percussions kick in, I'm like, I was like, that sounds like Ace of Base.
How could you possibly say that unless you have an Ace of Base CD sitting around somewhere? That's not a side A song.
I did have one back in the day.
I learned something every day.
So in my opinion, there's two bands or maybe three that just their sound puts you back in the 90s. Nirvana, Spice Girls, and Ace of Base.
Color Me Bad. Oh.
Yeah. Those three bands, in my opinion, when I hear their music, I go to the 90s. So when I saw this...
Spice Girls?
Yeah, the Spice Girls, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Weird, dude. That's a weird... Ace of Base, what? And Spice Girls?
They'd sound like the 90s. They just sound like... I'm not saying like, oh, I'm a huge fan of Spice Girls. I'm not. I am a huge fan of Ace of Base. But I'm just saying they sound like the 90s. And it was just a very smart choice. It was like they found the perfect song because of how it sounds. It makes you think of the 90s and the lyrics of the song as well. Not only that, but to realize that this song could be turned into on a cinematic level to build that doomsday clock of, with that Enya type chant that goes on in that song. Fucking yeah. We might be able to play a second of it. Can y'all hear that?
And she's like, would you like some caramels? Rogue's voice is actually the right age for...
Dude, you don't hear that? You don't think Ace of Base? I can't play too much or I get demonetized. Dude, I heard that shit. I was like, oh my God. I was like, this is very 90s. And then, but yeah, so Magneto, so they have the dance, and she's like, I've had my fill. I've touched your hand. I've had my fill.
It was weird that she like kissed him that deep, and then she's like, yeah, but Gambit was right. You know what I'm saying? It's like weird.
That is the only thing that I'm like, okay, so...
It's like cupping his cock and rubbing it a little bit and saying like, not for me, not for me.
Right. It's like what happened but with this dance and this kiss and this handhold that made you realize Gambit's the one? Like what happened? I don't know.
Nothing happened, man. That's so silly. Like I said, it's so stupid because she changed and she came back and she's like, all right, really, I still can't touch him. Like
yeah, I'm not really sure like what the and who knows, maybe in the next maybe not. I was gonna say maybe
not in the next episode.
Yeah, maybe in the next episode we'll find out why, or she might say why, what led her to it. But anyway, that was kind of like, I was like, what happened there? But other than that, that's nitpicking.
Madeline Pryor bleeding was very cool,
dude. That shit when she got hit. Oh my God,
boom,
dude. Once she gets hit in the forehead, this fucking show takes off.
What did she get hit by though?
She gets hit by a vision. So here's the theory. So she gets hit by a vision. So this is somebody obviously with like telekinetic powers. This is kind of why some people are saying Cassandra Nova is the one behind all this.
Yes.
Because one,
Bring
it
her
is
on.
it is semi-story comic accurate.
Genosha, yeah.
You know, and she does have telekinetic powers.
She's awesome.
And she was getting these visions in episode 1. She was getting the visions. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
Can I tell you real quick, just for a second here, before she blows up, because she's gonna be played by that really amazing actress in Deadpool 3, Cassandra Nova. I know I've already got my receipts for this, but Cassandra Nova is just one of the shittiest people ever. She is the best.
Yeah.
You know, like she literally is a parasite. She's an alien parasite that was on Charles Xavier's brain and then made herself like his sister, which she's not. But she she has like unlimited powers, really. And she's just such a dick, but she can also do good depending if she wants to or not. Oh man, like she showed up again. I've always liked her when I was younger, and she showed up again in was it New Mutants or something like that? I can't remember what it was. She showed up as either Hellions or New Mutants, and her first scene was her eating Krakoa. Because Krakoa is a living creature,
right?
So she had like chunks of Krakoa in her mouth and it goes all bloody. I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah, she is pretty ruthless. And that would be a great way too if they wanted to, if they really are trying to tie everything in, because kind of a good segue, like Claude just said, boom, and Crystal pointed this out to me. I didn't catch this. That's Uatu in the sky there, the Watcher.
I knew I saw something. Yes.
Yeah. So, you know, technically with that, this issue, I keep on saying issue, not mad about it. This episode could be put right into a Marvel What If show. You know what I'm saying? Like this could like literally, this is the start of a Marvel What If. So I would hate it if they did that. I would hate it, but I think that it's cool that they're tying it in this way. He also kind of looks like a giant Wolverine. That's what it is.
Or Yoda.
Yeah.
Oh, Disney.
Yoda. Yeah. And Yoda's watching from the sky. So that was cool. Okay, so Madeline gets hit, and then she goes outside. Oh shit, dude. Okay, here we go. This is good shit. Music's building. Cable shows up. This is so cool, man. I love when people show up from different time periods that know the situation.
But she had never met him before.
No,
she looks at his eyes and she's like, no, but it's her kid. But she's like looking in his eyes and she's like, Nathan, you know, and he's like, bye, mom.
She knows him from her memories as Jean Grey, so they have met technically. It's in her mind. That's why she knows him, that Cable. She calls him Cable. But after that conversation with Scott and they talk about his features and his look, it clicks for her here. And just super, super sad. So he says he's coming. Is he talking about the giant... what's it called?
Sentinel?
It's not the giant Sentinel, but it's called Mold Man.
Master Mold,
which apparently Master Mold doesn't even look like that.
No.
So it's not even Master Mold. So is he talking about the giant Sentinel, or is he talking about somebody else who is talking about Sinister, maybe?
But Sinister, that doesn't. It's not Sinister's MO. Sinister's not like super blowing like that. He's way more subtle when things go wrong.
Subtle, yeah.
You know, like
I could see that.
So it's not. Again, I could be 100% wrong, but I mean, like, who could it be? I mean, who? Okay, so in the X-Men time, the time frame of that, Sinister was in this time frame for sure. But you also have like Cameron Hodges. He was a big Genosha person. I don't know if you know who that is, but Cameron Hodges was there. The techno virus was a big part of everything still at this point here. So you could have the phalanx thing going on.
Oh yeah,
there could be a few. There could be different. There could be a few different things. You know.
Yeah, but to cause this much genocide on this level, I mean, like, is wild. I feel like it's either got. I feel like it's got to be like a Cassandra or an Apocalypse, maybe.
Not really his MO as well, though.
Because that would be funny. Because if they tied it back in, you could go back and watch that episode where Wolverine is about to take Madeline to the hospital. And he's like, "Who is it? Apocalypse?" And he's like, you know, people are like, and now you can go back and be like, "Oh shit, maybe that was a little clue." So, but this was a very very touching scene, especially I don't know. We don't know if she's dead or not. We gotta watch the trailer after we're done talking about this. We'll watch the trailer. Can't remember if she pops up in it, but how she's just so enamored with reuniting with her son, and she's so caught off guard before she gets the absolute smithereens blown out of her. Amazing editing, just so good. Like,
she's like, you have your father's eyes. How
Yeah.
can she say that? He has long shots eyes. What are you talking about? You know, like, and then he's like, pew.
Yeah,
And that's
this
cool.
is
Goodbye.
cool. Yeah.
Later. Yeah.
That was so cool.
Bye,
That was so
Mom.
cool, man. Yeah,
And
that
then
was
she's
very
like,
cool.
oh, wait.
Boom. And dude, and let me tell you something. This edit right here,
Akira. Oh, sorry.
dude, just that whole quick shot and the quick silences, and I mean, because Crystal was with the baby at the time, and I had to pause it, and I was like,
Did you
I was like, I didn't.
rubbing
I
your
was like,
beard, like, like, looking at here. What's happening? What's this? You know?
I was like, you got to come in here. I was like, this feels like it's gonna be pretty wild. So obviously it gets crazier, and they start fighting. This thing is just ripping through people. So Nightcrawler, dead or alive? Look at Banshee with his cape. That was Banshee.
Yeah. Somebody pointed out the other day how terrible Banshee was in that first show.
Dude.
With the scream.
Oh, dude, that is so funny. Let's see if we can find that real quick. Just real quick.
Dude. I was like, man, who was I listening to earlier today? I caught Thorough for a little while I was working, and he said something that was so true. He said, like, a lot of these shows that he watches now, he watches it back in the day. He's like, what the hell was wrong with me? Why did I ever think this was good?
Watch.
Or this was the coolest shit ever? Okay.
Watch. Ready?
What the fuck?
Oh, wait. They did the cowboy
Why
music.
was it like the
over it.
rave?
It's Charles.
I mean, they
Be the
couldn't.
guy in the studio. Okay, we need to again.
They couldn't have like gotten
Could you do
something.
Could you do a little more bassy?
Jesus.
They took that one clip from Run to the Hills, and just like looped it over and over again. Dude, let's do it again. Let's do it again. Just come on, play it one more time.
No. We don't want to get copyrighted.
Oh, damn it! And I have to
What
go
would be
find it.
funny if they just overdubbed it with the Wilhelm scream every time?
Dude, I mean, I've never read a book with Banshee and been like, he's screaming like that.
You know what?
It's
There
always
should
like,
be.
"Ooh," you know, like some kind of thing, you know.
There should be a contest where somebody just overdubs a bunch of famous screams. So look, so you could do Zeppelin. You could do that one. You could do you ever seen the one where the old black guy, he gets some bad news? No, it's an intervention, and he's sitting there.
Yeah.
And he lets out that.
Hey, dude, I saw your dad on TV, man.
That's one. What other great screams could they overdub Banshee?
Dude, God, man. Okay, yes, we can't watch it again because we're Jesus Christ.
All right, back to this. All right, so Banshee flies. He's got a cool cape, and he kept his mouth shut this time
Because he did.
Yeah,
They have to do something
it's a
when he
wild
goes.
sentinel. Claw says it's a wild sentinel.
I thought he meant to get like it's just like a wild sentinel, you know, like wild. That's not an official name. He's not dead, by the way. Nightcrawler's not dead.
I don't think he's dead either. And then look Shaw, Dazzler.
Dazzler's bothering me. Why is Dazzler there, by the way?
Of course,
And then Callista, yeah.
died.
Callisto.
She died.
She dead.
Okay, this was great. This is look, this scene right here,
Yep.
very Akira, right? This is such manga inspired with the bike.
Yeah, with the
And,
bike, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just the shots and the editing on this was just so cool to give them. I mean, this is good. This is good writing. You give them this great scene, the taste of what you've been wanting right before you rip them away from the audience.
Rogue
you know?
was awesome in this, where she's like her eye close-ups and things like that.
Wait,
you know,
we're gonna get to it. You're right. You're 100% right.
Yeah.
This was great. Sentinels dropping out of the sky. All of this was just great action. The freaking music, they played the theme song like a little bit, but they didn't do it too much to where we were drowning in it, because
They used to do that in the cartoon back in the day too. It was always like a weird fight team, like
so cool. Magneto freaking whooping ass, dude. Just this right here, that scene where he remembers the Holocaust stuff from his past, and he starts to whip the freaking Sentinel. Like, there's your metaphor, right? There's your allegory. You know, like, that's about as on the nose as this show will probably ever get, but it's still subtext. It's still not across that line, you know? And then, these people. And then Gambit does some badass shit. And then here we go. This is where shit gets really crazy. So Magneto, in that article with DeMaio, he says the death of Gambit and Magneto. So Magneto might be dead.
But he's not.
But we didn't see him, though. But that's the rule, right?
I guess the question, John, is like, how long is this show going to last? And I ask that because it lets
They've already
me
got season 2 written.
But it makes me go like, how invested I am going to be in their
Decisions.
turnaround. It's kind of like you're perpetually watching the Titanic here, no matter what, because you know how things end.
Yeah.
Like, this storyline's been done essentially. I mean, they're writing it differently and things like that. But like okay, Gambit's dead. The reason I can say, like, I can make jokes about it, A, because it's a fucking comic, but B, I know he's not dead. You know what I'm saying? He's not dead, so I know that he's not. And so it's like, when I see these people dying, I'm kind of like, oh my God, Gambit's dead.
What if he comes back as remember he at one point he comes back as, in the comics, he comes back as Death, one of the 4 horsemen.
I will tell you, when the Sentinel turned and said Omega level mutant detected, for a second it was kind of for a second, boom, right here. This guy, I was like, he is an Omega level mutant.
He is.
And Mr. Sinister fucked him up in the brain and took it away from him.
Yep, that's right.
And stuff. Just 2 detectives.
That is right.
Sleuthing it out.
He is. He doesn't. Yeah, because he was scared of his own. He wanted Sinister to do that because he was scared of his own potential. And so Sinister blocked him. Now so Magneto blows up. Rogue has never looked more terrifying than, where's the shot? Where is it? Hold on.
It's just her eyes.
Dude, the way they did the eyes and the wind in her hair.
Yes.
And I mean, I'm talking the fury. This is, oh shit, where is it? Hold on.
Only to be smited by the Cajun.
His motorcycle.
Sorry, Zim. I don't know if you can hear us. I don't know sign language either, so this is me. I don't know. Oh, Zim. And of course, the YouTube thing ended.
What do you mean?
I was going to text Zim. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Zim. I keep saying it like you can hear me.
Dude, this was so good. Like, when she's flying, the animation here.
Uh-huh.
Bro, is that not? How many times have you seen that in
Twice.
Invincible? Is that not Invincible-esque? Like, the shot, the angle, the wind flapping in the hair, the fury in her freaking face.
It's every amazing anime moment right there. That happening right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm not saying it's in like, hey, they're copying or ripping it off. It works. Yeah. It works over and over again. So every time you show it, you're gonna feel it. And you're gonna it's amazing, you know.
Yeah.
So, and then your boy's like, pew, and then come on, death cock blocked right here. You know, like, God.
Doink.
Right. And then he just doesn't care.
Yeah, and then he goes for it.
And then in the video game, jump, A, B, A, select, did I start? No.
And scene.
Happy moment.
It's crazy, man. And what's crazy is, as obvious as it would be, and this just goes to how they're doing such a good time. This goes to show how good of a job they're doing with allowing them to use their powers in creative ways.
Yes.
I did not even think about this, about him using his kinetic energy to just blow this thing up right here. When I saw that, I'm like, oh shit. I was like, he's going to fall down.
Comics,
and...
we always hear,
crazy, man. And then just beautifully, and just that one shot, this shot here, making him look so small, like, and just like you puny little peon, and then the smirk, it's just freaking, and then the glow, dude, it's so good. I'm not sure if all this stuff can be copyrighted. We're not having any sound, but this is amazing. Remember,
Yeah.
so cool.
Did you just
So
say that, or
cool.
did you turn the volume up for it?
I said that.
Oh, okay. I was like, dude, perfect. We could probably open the whole thing if we wanted, you know.
Yeah.
And then be yeah. So I mean, like, all right, let's
Yeah, and then
Let's
oh,
send
and
back
then the last thing is this
the
shot.
trailer.
This shot. Yeah.
Oh
we
yeah,
get to-
yes. I
What
can't
is it?
feel them.
I can't feel him. So, couple things. That's what Wanda says to Vision.
What? Really?
That's what Wanda says to Vision after she blows a hole in his head at the end of Infinity War. That's also how Storm was acting after she lost her powers. Remember? And then this is 100%, dude. Actually, let me just pull it up real quick. This will take 1 second. What is this a reference, an homage to?
The Pieta by Michelangelo?
No.
Yes.
Nope.
You guys check me out. Look at the La Pieta by Michelangelo, and that is exactly what that looks like right there. Sorry. Oh my god. Good eye, Johnny. Good eye.
Death of
Good
Superman.
eye. Okay.
Crazy, dude.
I remember that. Yeah. Very good. Very good. Very good. This
I
is
just,
very,
I love it. It just goes. It just shows that they're comic fans. Like, I love that. You know, it's Marvel paying homage to DC. Fucking beautiful. It's great. All right, let's watch this trailer. Yeah, because we're getting to our time here. X-Men animated.
Zim, sorry, man. You can't hear me. It's so stupid.
What?
You ever seen that video clip of that guy that, like, the girl who has no arms walks up to the little kid who has no arms, walks up to the guy and, like, breaks his piece of wood or something like that, and he, like, goes to give her a high five, and then she, like, looks at him and he goes to give her fist bump instead.
No, I don't
I'm
think so.
trying to tell Zim that we're almost done and he can't hear me because we're on mute.
Oh.
I'm bad people. All right. This is the trailer. No, this is still the end.
So yeah, so this is the trailer happening for the next, excuse me, I think 3 episodes. So let's see. If you can't hear it, give me a thumbs down.
You have to get everyone out. He's coming.
If only you knew the future we have in store.
While you X-Men have been holding hands, we've been placing dominoes.
You think there's really gonna be a war?
We shall not live our days wondering if we could have saved more.
We face this as we always have. Together.
Oh yeah, dude. Little cap shield.
Yeah,
At the
so
end there?
Sinister's there. So Sinister's there. You know.
Sinister's there. Got the cap shield.
Together.
It's snowing.
That's because Storm said, "Come to me, my frozen winds."
Whose yellow
Adore."
boot is that?
Oh, it's Rogue, right? It's slenderish.
Yeah.
Is it? I mean, wait. I felt like you know, and they were just asking me. You know, like,
No.
like who's yellow boot? Class.
Everything is a test.
Whose yellow boot is that? Wrong. I'm afraid.
Spider-Man's.
Yeah. Is that Tony Stark of old? Who is the old man with the mustache? You know, there.
Is that
Was the comedian from DC more homaging?
is that Stephen Lang?
Huh? Who?
Stephen Lang.
You're just making shit up, man.
No. Stephen
Who's he?
Lang. He was he was creating Sentinels in it. I'm probably wrong, but he was creating Sentinels in like issue 95
Oh no! What
and
is it?
96 of Claremont.
Bolivar Trask.
Oh yeah. Maybe,
Boom.
yeah.
It's William Stryker as Weapon X.
Yeah.
Come on, what you got? Got
Punished
more
Son of
info.
Peace. Look, Nightcrawler's got some swords and shit. That
Yes,
looks cool.
indeed. Where are the little bamps? Let's go.
The little bams. Okay. That's the trailer. Like the stream, guys, if you liked the X-Men. We appreciate it.
Yeah, because we know a lot of stuff. We don't know as much stuff as Dan the X-Men guy. What's it? Dan X-Men. What is his name? Dan X-Men.
Dan's
X-Men comic.
Dan's. Oh yeah, Dan knows a lot of stuff.
Yes, he does.
They could be. All right, I'm gonna have to get rolling because I can hear the baby crying.
Can you hear the baby crying? All right, Zim. Come back, Zim, just so we can tell you goodnight.
All right, we're done, Zim. And stay on the next page.
Wait, Zim, hold on. Zim, are you here? Zim, come back. Hold on. Zim, it's fine. It's fine now. Okay. Yeah, no, Cassandra Nova and Mr. Cinebees are great. Anyway, everybody have a great night. Thank you for coming out to our show, Into the Void, number 32.
31.
Appreciate you. 31. One. This guy next week has a show at Comic-Con in
St. Tammany. St. Tammany Comic-Con in Mandeville, Louisiana. If you are in Louisiana, come check it out. It's 2 days. It's going to be massive. Yeah. Massive. And I'm going to have a lot of great books.
It's his first one.
Coming on. Yeah.
So it's a short plane trip wherever you are in America. Come see us. We got some ideas. We're going to have some fun, and we're going to be doing some funny things.
Absolutely.
So John of the Silver Surfer will be there, so it's going to be a lot of fun, too.
Yeah, he will. And so will Darklaw.
Oh, yeah! And then this lady who has this incredible collection of comics is going to be right by Johnny.
Yep. KCC.
That's going to be great.
Anyway. All right, guys. Thank you all so much. Hit like on the way out. We love you, and we will see you on the next page.
Later.
I didn't do the outro.